These masks are really something, huh? This is the Rojo Dorada Red Light Therapy Mask. It's a brand new mask. I'm one of the first to actually get one, so that's pretty cool. And I'm putting it through my 100-point scoring system. Be sure to hang around until the end of the video because I'll be revealing that score. I'll also be comparing this mask to other masks in the market. This is the 20th mask I've reviewed. It's crazy. And more importantly, I'll be telling you whether this works or not, and if you should buy it. I'm affiliated with some of the companies mentioned in this video, and I will earn a commission if you buy through my links or discount codes. Products were provided to me free of charge, and all opinions are my own. This is not medical advice. Okay, round one, fit. Now, I'm calling this a semi-soft shell mask. So yes, it's flexible, it's suitable for travel, but it does have a slight sort of mold to it. And actually, I think this design works well, because it fits really nicely and it stays on securely. Also, when it's on, I can talk, see, and breathe without any issues. But not all is perfect. So the strap is nice, it's all built in, but you can't really make any adjustments with it. And you don't get great skin contact because of the pre-molded design. Finally, and this is probably the worst thing about the mask, I did get some sweat buildup in the forehead, and I just felt stuffy around the mouth nose area. Even with these vents in the middle, which are great, the problem is the eye inserts aren't removable and they create a really good seal. So a lot of that moisture, a lot of that air just gets locked in place. Still, I scored it 12 out of 15 for fit. Now, when it comes to operation, this is a corded device. However, the controller has a nice handy clip on it, and it's very easy to use. Yes, there are 3 buttons and a screen, but you can literally turn this on and have it operating just with the press of one button. From there, you can change the brightness, change the modes, and there is also a pulsed light option. It is all straightforward, and with that screen, it does make it quite easy to use. Now, as for the modes, there are a lot of options, but you can run this in red only mode, or red with near infrared, or a blue light only option. I think the mask is good for travel. It's flexible, small, lightweight. It's USB-C charged. There is an optional neck and chin add-on. Add in all the mode and brightness adjustment options, and it does do well for operation. I wish the manual was a bit more detailed on the red light therapy signs, but still, I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10 for operation. That means the first round score is 19.5 out of 25. Now, if you want to see my full scorecard or my comments and how I come up with these points, I'll put a link to that down below. Okay, so round 2, let's look at wavelengths first. Now, there's actually 5 wavelengths in this mask, which is really good. There's not many masks with that many different wavelengths, and you can change what wavelengths running by changing the mode. And by changing the mode, it changes the wavelengths. So first up, you have repair mode with your 630 red. You then have rejuvenation with your amber and red light. There's an anti-acne mode, which has red and then near infrared. Now, there's actually 2 near-infrared wavelengths in this mask. Most of the chips have 850 nanometers, but some of them do have 1072 nanometers. There's a morning skincare mode, which has amber, red, and near-infrared. Another anti-acne mode, which is just your blue 415. And then a bedtime skincare mode, which is amber only. So because of all of these options, the Rojo Dorada scores 8.5 out of 10. Now let's look at the fluence, which is the amount of energy put out from the mask in a standard session time. So default mode is a 10-minute runtime on the lowest power intensity. So I use my spectrometer to determine the power output, and in turn I calculated the dose, which was 6.2 joules over centimeter squared. Now, as you can see on screen, this puts it in the perfect optimal dose for skin rejuvenation and anti-aging benefits. My team and I have looked at all the research on red light therapy and skin health, and also the research on light therapy masks and skin and beauty enhancements. So this is really good. I'm going to score the mask 15 out of 15 here. And remember, this is on low dose mode. You can up the intensity, which would of course increase the dose. So I think it's unnecessary. In turn, the Rojo mask scores really well for round 2 with a score of 23.5 out of 25. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more like this, hit the subscribe button. Actually, I've already published a lot of reviews, so check them out, and I will be doing a big comparison showdown video looking at over 20 masks, so stay tuned for that. All right, round 3, here we're looking at coverage quality. First up, LEDs. Now these 90 LEDs built into this mask. These are quad chip LEDs, so in turn there's 360 LED chips, which is a decent number, and I'm going to score the mask 8 out of 10. But let me break down this a little bit further. 78 of these 90 are quad chip, meaning there's blue, amber, red, and near infrared at 850 nanometers. And then 12 of these LEDs have your blue, amber, red, and then 1070 nanometer near infrared. Now what's interesting is the chips with the 1070 are located high on the cheeks and then close to the nose. And the chips putting out the 1070 are narrow focus LEDs, meaning if I could see them on my spectrometer, I can't because it doesn't test out that far. It would be quite a narrow peak like you would see with a laser. Now, if you've seen some of my other reviews, I don't think lasers are needed in masks, purely because the light is very focused. So the same can be said with these narrow focused LEDs. I would actually prefer seeing the light spread out a little bit more and at the same time have a wider wavelength spread. Because at the end of the day with a mask, you want as many LEDs as possible to hit as many areas as possible. Most masks are applied directly to the skin. They're not like a panel where the light spreads and you get a hopefully even spread of light. So I do find it interesting that Rojo have decided to use such chips. Also, the addition of 1072 is kind of good, but there isn't a lot of research around it for skin and beauty benefits. This wavelength is also used in the Omnilux men's mask. They say it's because it penetrates deeper, which is good for thicker men's skin, but I explain the flaws with that logic in the video review of that mask. Still, with the wavelengths you are getting, your 630, your amber, the blue light, and the 850, these are all clinically validated, well-proven wavelengths that are going to help with everything from skin blemishes to fine lines and wrinkles to collagen production and circulation in the skin. Okay, so enough about the LEDs. Now let's look at the coverage, how this light is hitting 10 different areas across the face. Now, so far, the Rojo mask has been scoring really, really well. And unfortunately, that splendid run ends here. The main issue with this mask is the big opening around the eyes and the top of the nose. When we look at the top of the head, we do get some good coverage in the foreheads, but it could be a little bit higher. Likewise with the temples, more LEDs and a little bit more width would be good. When we look at the crow's feet and under the eyes, unfortunately, I have to score the mask with 0 here. The LEDs are just too far away from the target areas, and that built-in eye insert is literally blocking any light hitting these areas otherwise. It's a real disappointment because these are key target areas for a lot of people. Looking at the nose bridge, there's also nothing here. The nose itself does get pretty good coverage. There are a few LEDs, and because the mask is fully enclosed, the nose is going to get good coverage, but it could be better. The cheeks, no issues there. And though this mask lacks in the eye area, it does a good job with the lips, chin, and jaw. You see the mask is larger than most, and there are a decent amount of LEDs down here. And because it's enclosed, the lips are getting some light as well. But it's not perfect, even in these areas. So I'm giving it a score of 7.5 out of 15 for coverage, meaning the round score is 15.5 out of 25. Okay, so now for price. Well, the mask retails for $360 US. However, if you use my discount link and code down below, remember you save, I get a commission. That brings the price down to $324, which includes free shipping. So I'm scoring it 14 out of 20 for price. Okay, now for peace of mind. Now the Dorada mask has a 2-year warranty period, and it comes with a 45-day return policy, meaning if you're not happy within that 45 days, you can return it for a full refund. As for the company itself, it is based in New Zealand and it's been running for a couple years now. In fact, I have reviewed a lot of their red light therapy products over the years and they've performed very well. So I'm giving this mask a score of 3.5 out of 5 for peace of mind, meaning this round score is 17.5 out of 25. So after 4 rounds, we crunch the numbers and see that the Rojo Dorada light therapy mask gets a total score of 76 out of 100. Now, this is a very impressive score. It's up there. It's right up there, in fact. And this is due to the fact that it scores very well in a lot of the rounds. But hey, I mean, this mask is a good mask. Like it ticks a lot of boxes. I feel odd about this because for me personally, I want a mask that hits the eyes, under eyes. Like this is my key target area. So when I see the Rojo Dorada with its big eye open space and the built-in eye inserts, for me, it's bit of a turnoff. But if you look past that, in every other area, it does really, really well. I mean, it's got the perfect dose. It's got 5 different wavelengths, though you could argue the 1070 isn't really needed. It's got a good amount of LEDs, and because they're quad chip, it's going to help with light spread and light coverage. It's comfortable to wear, though. You wouldn't want to wear it longer than 10 minutes, especially on a hot day, because there was a bit of sweat there. It comes in at an attractive price point, 3-year warranty, 60-day return period. Again, it's very appealing. I guess it really boils down to the coverage zones, what you value most. Because based on the literature and based on what I've found testing this mask is going to do its job. It's got the blue in there for anti-acne benefits, but it's got the correct red and the correct near-infrared wavelengths in there for skin rejuvenation benefits. And it's also got the additional amber, which also shows promise in the literature. So at $324, is it worth it? Well, yeah, I think this is definitely a fair price. It really just comes down to what you want in a mask. And the great thing is we are spoiled for choices now. There are so many options out there, different wavelength blends, different styles of mask, different price points. It's really quite cool. So what are some good options? Well, you could go with the Project E Lumelux Pro. It's a very similar price point. However, it has 800 LED chips and much better coverage around the eyes. But the Rojo does have a better power output, and it has the pulsing and the 1072 wavelengths. Another good option, which is slightly cheaper, is the Nanoleaf mask. This could be seen as a little bit more basic feature-wise, though it still has more LED chips than the Rojo mask. It also has slightly better coverage in the eye area again, but it's only got 3 wavelengths and not as many advanced features. And since we're dropping the price point, if you really want to save money, then I'd suggest looking at the Huga mask. It's only $150 US, and for that price, you're getting something good, but of course you are missing out on a lot of things. For instance, it's only got 195 chips and only uses 3 wavelengths. Still, this is just 3 of many options out there, so be sure to check out some of my videos. And if you need help buying a mask, I do have a red light therapy mask buying guide. I'll put links to that down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.